What's up, everybody? It's another catch-up raid log. I'll figure out what exactly this is, but um, the weekend's over, so it's not news anymore. But if you didn't know, Lugia returned for GoFest weekend. I did not go to GoFest because I was not lucky enough to be able to get myself a ticket due to various connectivity slash scalping issues. But you know what? As far as rating goes, which is at this point what I do find the most enjoyable aspect of the game, I'll take not going over going because, well, we got Lugia if we didn't go and Articuno if we did. I think that's how it went. I'm not too sure if they had access to Lugia too. I do know that they had access to Articuno. I know that some people who did go were in groups here that did not get shiny Articuno. So, you know what, that's redemption for them if they got it. I have to check in with everybody who went to GoFest because they all came back like late last night, so they're all recuperating, resting today. And me pretty much as well, because I ran around the city doing as many Lugia races as I possibly could, trying to get this shiny, because it's the only shiny legendary that I don't have at the moment. But anyway, as far as GoFest goes, I hate when that happens where you say a word and then you say it again. But yeah, as far as GoFest went, we all now know that Celebi will probably be released on a worldwide scale in the coming weeks, maybe in the next month or two, because if you weren't paying attention, or you don't know, Celebi was released at GoFest this weekend. I think as it was in the Game Master, for people who were upset that Celebi got Hyper Beam instead of, a grass charge move. I'm pretty sure Hyper Beam is still in its learn set. For those of you who don't know, Celebi is the mythical legendary of Generation 2. It's grass psychic. In Pokemon Go, it has access to Confusion, and I think Charge Beam is quick moves, and then Dazzling Gleam, Hyper Beam, and Psychic as charge moves, meaning that for a grass psychic type, it does not have a single grass move in its move pool, basically limiting it to being a psychic type. However, psychic as a move is terrible. To be more viable, Celebi should have gotten, I don't know, Future Sight or even Psyshock, which are better charge moves than Psychic is in Pokemon Go. However, it did get Dazzling Gleam, which is good because even without stab, it is a viable charge move versus fighting types. Although it's, seeing as you'll only be able to get it at level 15, it's not going to be as good as, say, Mewtwo. If you've already powered it up, Mew, Espeon, Alakazam, etc., because Mew only counts if you've already powered it up, therefore it would be a less Stardust-intensive investment, and then Mewtwo, Espeon, and Alakazam, you can all get at higher levels than 15, meaning they wouldn't be as Stardust intensive either. And Celebi isn't strictly better than any of them in any way. It's more like, on par with Mew sometimes. It's weird. It's another Pokemon that would have been better had it gotten access to better moves, unfortunately. Which a lot of potentially good Pokemon in this game fall victim to, move pool syndrome. However, it is cool. It would be the only one you'd get, considering it's a mythical research reward. And I know a lot of people who are happy that they have their Celebi, and I will be extremely happy when I get mine. I didn't go, so I didn't have access to the GoFest version of the quest line, which is, to be honest, very easy. Considering it was GoFest, Unknown would be easy to find. It was like catch 10 fire types, water types, electric types, etc. Easy stuff. I just noticed that, I just dropped 2 Premier Balls right there. I remember exactly what happened. I was, trying to set the circle and put it back down, and then for some reason, the game for 2 balls in a row counted it as me throwing it, and I don't know, I did it exactly the same before and after that, and it counted, so may have been a device issue. But yeah, GoFest sounded pretty fun. I am kind of, rating aside, I'm kind of Sad that I was unable to get myself a ticket. I was not going to pay the boosted price, like the $500 that were being sold from scalpers. And I just didn't get the tickets when they were originally available, which is unfortunate. I'm happy for everybody who did get to go. I'm certain we're going to get Celebi as a worldwide thing, so that's fine. I know people are coming back with Torkoal, so really a lot of things that I would only have been able to get at GoFest without traveling abroad, I'll be able to get via trading anyway. So that's okay. At this point, it's more like, I wasn't able to participate and, be a part of the experience, which is sad. Try again for next year, But anyway, that let me stay here at home and try desperately to find shiny Lugia for 2 days. And it was a little bit easier this time around too. Even with Hydro Pump, Lugia just is not as scary now that we have Raikou, Zapdos. Tyranitar with Bite Crunch already was a great counter. But also Smackdown Stone Edge Tyranitar, which topped the charts as DPS and TDO because for most of the weekend it was partly cloudy here. So that moveset got an extra boost, and you know what? That's great because I figured I would need a lot of them. So I powered up 6 Smackdown Stone Edge Tyranitar from Community Day, and I am happy I did because they all came into good use. Any other discussions about GoFest? Oh, yeah, I forgot about this because it was kind of, it took kind of a... It took to the back seat because I was just looking for Shiny Lugia, and I knew that I would find a couple of these shinies. But Shiny Plusle and Shiny Minun were released this weekend as well. I think my final tally was 11. I didn't do as much looking for the shinies on Sunday because I had such a great haul Saturday, but I got shinies on both days. It wasn't equal, unfortunately. I found 7 Shiny Minun and only 4 Shiny Plusle. So, oh well. I know a couple people who got the same amount of each. I don't know. And then I know a couple who got who found way more of one than the other. So it may depend on who you are. Maybe the shininess maybe one species favors you over the other for a lot of people in terms of shinies. Maybe some people are just more prone due to coding or what have you to find more Shiny Minun or Shiny Plusle. The one complaint I heard about the shinies were, Shiny Minun was very easy to distinguish, and then you had to actually check every time you checked a Plusle because, the shiny difference between normal Plusle and Shiny Plusle is, the normal one is, red, and then the other one's Devil Food Cake red. They're both red, and the red's in the same place. It's just that one's a slightly deeper, more vivid red, and, it's just, It's a meh shiny. Quite a few shinies from the earlier gens are meh because they look so similar to their normal forms. I think I've already said this before, but Articuno and Snorlax are other ones. Snorlax is teal blue normally, and then it's navy blue as the shiny. Some people said it looks entirely different, that they see it as green. It looks teal blue to me, and I'm pretty sure before a couple of months ago I'd only heard it as described as blue, or teal, which is green blue. So I can see when people say it looks green. I can see where people are coming from. It just doesn't look that way to me. Articuno, I hope, is a more obvious one because both of the shinies are blue. It's just that one is darker blue with lighter blue accents, and then the shiny form is lighter blue with white accents. As far as hauls for Lugia goes, just gonna say this now. I had a perfect run on me, which was pretty upsetting. It's in that 2056 CP Lugia runaway. It's not in this compilation, and neither is the Redemption Lugia that I found instead. It's not 100, but it's 98%. It was 2051. Max attack and defense. I may power that up in the future. I don't know. Maybe not. I am sitting on a lot of rare candies now. I haven't spent any in a while, and I really should start spending them because I'm sitting on, let me check. I'm sitting on 529 rare candies, and it's beginning to become a storage problem. So I'm going to need to look into doing something about that in the near future. I don't know what to spend on it now, and I'm currently saving Stardust, so I'm not going to be spending Stardust anyway. Oh, and how can I forget this? This is like that's probably one of the big things for the weekend. Like Go Fest or not, two new Alolan forms. You know, Alolan Diglett and it's an evolution. All the single ladies. Um, oh, I'm sorry, I had to make that joke. Um, and Alolan Geodude and its evolutionary line. They were all released. Unfortunately, I did evolve Alolan Golem, but it's only really strong. It's below 82%. So it's not one I'm going to invest in. The good news is Alolan Golem isn't exactly meta-defining. Um, I think it is slightly better versus the birds, as opposed to normal Golem, because at least versus Articuno, it's not taking super effective from the ice moves anymore because it's no longer part ground. Being rock electric, it can take advantage of both rock moves and electric moves and deal stab, which is great. Which makes it a great flying type counter, especially for the birds, excuse me. It's no longer 4 times weak to water, which means versus Hydro Pump Lugia, it doesn't take as much damage from Hydro Pump. Although I think it's still inferior to Tyranitar versus Hydro Pump. Still, good new additions. Alolan Dug Trio and normal Dug Trio are about as useless, so no changes there. But Alolan Dug Trio is funnier to look at, so I guess there's a win for it. So someone actually said it was cute. I doubt it. I don't think it's that cute, but it's funny. It's funny. I will concede that. And then Mustachioed Golem not only looks funny, but I'm not quite sure yet. I think it is slightly better than normal Golem, like just a little bit. It's probably like one of those matchup dependent which one should you use things. Rock Electric versus Rock Ground versus flying types. I'm imagining Alolan Golem would be slightly better. Just because, you know, now it's got that double resistance to flying type moves. Although I think for the legendary birds, that would only come in handy versus Lugia, who can pack flying type moves. Otherwise, their stats are exactly the same, too. I don't know what charge move Alolan Golem gets for electric. I know it gets Stone Edge and Rock Blast, because that's what mine has. And I know for quick moves it has Rock Throw and Volt Switch, I think. But I don't like it. Thunderbolt, maybe, as its electric charge move. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But I maybe... Thunderbolt sounds about right. Either that or Thunder, because they wouldn't give it Zap Cannon. Or, I highly doubt they'd give it Wild Charge. And I'm not even sure if Alolan Golem gets Wild Charge in the main games. But anyway. As far as this weekend goes, it was pretty good. I'm currently trying to get to 40 million XP. After the double raid XP thing was happening, I was like, oh, I can actually reach it. At the time, I was like 33 million XP. And in the last week and a half, I'm now at 39.78 million. So, really close to 40 million XP, and I'm just going to keep going until I get there. My hope is that I get to 40 million before Zapdos weekend. That's a pretty low bar, because I'm pretty sure I'll hit 40 million like midway through this week at the latest. But it'll be pretty fun to hit 40 million, because you're not really level 40 if you haven't done it twice, you know. If you don't know, your career XP total needs to be 20 million to be level 40. And like obviously 40 million XP means you've gotten enough XP to be level 40 twice over. And the joke amongst a lot of the level 40s that I know is like you're a baby 40 until you hit 30 million. And to me at least, like if you hit 30, you may as well go all the way and try and do it twice, right? So like from my point of view, like you're not really 40 until you've done it twice, but you're 40, right? So it doesn't necessarily matter. It's still an achievement, because I'm pretty sure the majority of players still are not level 40. So it's a good achievement either way. Like I'm not trying to devalue it if you're like, you know, just reached it or what have you. This weekend, like the one downside to raiding Lugia this weekend was a lot of the big raiders in the raiding groups here went to GoFest, so there wasn't a lot of raiding activity, unfortunately. It's not like I don't live in some place like New York where, like, even if, you know, all the big people you know who raid are gone, there are still going to be a lot of big raiders running around, and New York, as far as I hear, is also, like, massive spoof city, so, like, even if there were no raiders around, physically, you'd probably still have a bunch of people in the lobby, what have you. So, there's that to consider. Here, it's a little bit different. There are still, like, thousands of players, but I feel like most of the players in the city aren't organized into, you know, like, Discords and WhatsApps and Facebook groups and what have you. I feel like most of them are still solo players. And that means I think, like, a minority of people are actually, you know, plugged into, like, the organized rating system. And that means, like, if a lot of people in those groups disappear, then, like, organized rating pretty much kind of stops. Still got in around, I think it was 21 Lugia raids total over the course of the whole weekend. And because it's the end of the video, I'm just going to say it now. No, I did not find the shiny. I didn't get to raid Lugia as much when the shiny came out the first time. So in total, my dry run is now no shinies for 28? 28. I'm pretty sure. Just check the. I'm gonna check my Pokedex real quick to see. Because I think it's 28. Yeah, 0 for 28. Which is sad. If I get really desperate, trading is a thing. Lugia may return. You never know. Anyway, that's it. I was gonna do this in 2 parts, but I think, because I got most of the stuff I wanted to show in here, and I've just told you I didn't get the shiny, I think I'll just return to doing maybe 1 or 2 more Regice raid logs, and then a couple of normal raids for once, because I have a lot of those just sitting around, and I should use those clips too. In anticipation for whatever new Regi we get, as well as Zapdos weekend, which is this weekend. So stay hyped for Zapdos and a potentially new Regi, which will get old really quickly. That's it. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Hit the notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next one.